On a chilly Thursday afternoon in May 2021, officers from the UK's National Crime Agency ventured into a rural area near Jerrettspass outside Newry, Northern Ireland. Acting on a tip-off from an informant who claimed that weapons had been smuggled into the UK from Holland, they secured a map pinpointing the burial site of the firearms. The map led the team to a Newry farm, where they used metal detectors to sweep the marked spot. The search began around 4 p.m. and continued well into the night, aided by search specialists and equipment from the Police Service of Northern Ireland, PSNI. Eventually, investigators uncovered 2 waterproof holdalls buried just beneath the surface. Inside were 11 firearms, including 7 machine guns, 3 automatic handguns, and an assault rifle, all equipped with magazines and accompanied by compatible ammunition. The weapons were in excellent condition, fully operational, and ready for use. The NCA was thrilled with the discovery, hailing it as the most significant firearms seizure in Northern Ireland in a decade. The NCA branch commander emphasised the magnitude of this achievement in the fight against serious and organised crime, attributing the success to the collaboration with the PSNI and other partners involved in the operation. However, how successful were they really? In the years that followed, it became painfully clear that the entire operation had been a ruse. The authorities had been fooled and lured into a devilish plot, showcasing organised crime at the highest level. On an August morning in 2023, notorious crime boss Thomas "Bomber" Kavanagh, who was being held on remand, appeared via video link before Westminster Magistrates Court. What followed was a bombshell announcement that sent shockwaves through the courthouse. Bomber Kavanagh, one of the most senior figures in the Kinahan cartel, had struck a deal with the UK's National Crime Agency. The court heard that he'd revealed the location of a cartel arms dump, leading the police to a stash of deadly firearms. Thomas "Bomber" Kavanagh is one of Ireland's most notorious crime lords, who rose to head of the Kinahan cartel's UK operations after moving to the country. Married to Joanne Byrne, the sister of Liam and David Byrne, Kavanagh is also a key figure in the Byrne crime organisation, a major ally of the Kinahan cartel. In the early 1990s, Bomber left Ireland on a mission to expand the Kinahan cartel's global empire, arriving in the UK with a single goal: to seize control of the drug and weapons trade. He quickly rose through the cartel's ranks, becoming its most powerful member, outranked only by Daniel Kinahan. For decades, he ruled the criminal underworld with fear and violence, skillfully staying under the radar, until a pivotal moment in February 2016. During a notorious Regency Hotel shooting in Dublin, believed to be an attempt on Daniel Kinahan's life, Kinahan managed to escape while his associate David Byrne, Bomber's brother-in-law, was killed. At Byrne's funeral, Bomber made a bold public appearance, stepping into the spotlight in a dramatic show of force that underscored his powerful role in the Irish mafia. Up until then, he had operated from the shadows, but this event thrust him into public view. The Regency Hotel attack ignited the feud between the Kinahan cartel and the Hutch gang, drawing Bomber and his criminal empire into the spotlight. Before the Regency Hotel shooting, Bomber Kavanagh had been running the Kinahan cartel's UK operations for years. He oversaw the distribution and transportation of illegal goods, working closely with infamous figures like James Mulvey. Under Bomber's leadership, the cartel successfully planned, imported, and distributed drugs worth millions of pounds, all from his heavily fortified Staffordshire home, equipped with reinforced doors and bulletproof glass. By 2016, Bomber was at the peak of his power and appeared untouchable. But all that changed in January 2017, when a dramatic raid took place at a Greenock industrial estate in Dublin. The target was Declan Brady, who had stood alongside Bomber at David Byrne's funeral. During the raid, officers uncovered a cache of weapons and drugs, and Brady was arrested on the spot. Documents found at the scene were linked to a Midlands-based freight and logistics company in the UK, believed to be connected to Bomber's gang. Brady was identified as Bomber's right-hand man, and the documents revealed the cartel's key smuggling route for moving drugs and weapons from Europe into the UK and Ireland. The raid sparked an intense Garda investigation, known as Operation Hornstay, which partnered with the UK's National Crime Agency, NCA. In October of that year, the NCA made another significant breakthrough when customs agents in Dover intercepted a shipment containing 15 kilos of cocaine and 200 kilos of cannabis, cleverly hidden inside 2 tarmac removal machines. This discovery put Bomber and his associates firmly in the NCA's sights. The bust revealed the cartel's sophisticated method of using heavy machinery as a cover to smuggle drugs from mainland Europe, then transporting them through legitimate logistics companies. Following leads, investigators traced the operation to a warehouse and properties linked to Gary Vickery and Daniel Canning, two of Bomber's closest confidants. On one of the confiscated phones, they uncovered a photograph from December 2016 showing Bomber, Vickery, James Byrne, and Declan Brady celebrating their drug trading success during a lavish holiday to the US. The photo highlighted how swiftly the Byrne organisation, led by Bomber, resumed operations after the Regency Hotel shooting in February 2016. Just moments after the death of his brother-in-law, Bomber and his associates were already planning new shipments of drugs and weapons. By Christmas, they were celebrating in New York, having successfully smuggled their first post-attack shipment. However, this success was short-lived, as the authorities raided the Greenock industrial estate just a month later. The seized phones also contained messages with someone referred to as the Gaffer, indicating this was a powerful and feared figure in the criminal world. Further investigation confirmed that the Gaffer was none other than Bomber Kavanagh himself. Armed with this evidence, the NCA began building a strong case against Bomber and his sprawling multi-million euro drug smuggling empire. Bomber was arrested in 2019 at Birmingham Airport while returning from a New Year's celebration in Mexico. After his arrest, the NCA raided his home and uncovered a treasure trove of cash hidden in suitcases, cupboards, and even inside couch cushions. They also found a stun gun, leading to his conviction and a 3-year prison sentence for firearm possession. However, this was just the beginning, as the investigation into his drug empire was only gaining momentum. The NCA linked him to 23 additional shipments of cocaine and cannabis, worth 36 million euros. So while serving time for the stun gun conviction, Bomber faced more serious charges. Since March 2020, he'd been held on remand in connection with the Holland drug trafficking case. Bomber knew he was in serious trouble, as the Holland case could land him a lengthy prison sentence. Desperate to find a way out, he devised a plan. Bomber believed that if he provided the NCA with valuable information leading to a major weapons discovery, he could secure a lighter sentence in his drug case. His strategy was to gather as many weapons and ammunition as possible, sourcing the arms from various criminals across different countries. Once he'd assembled the cachet, he'd hide the weapons and then revealed their location to the NCA. With help from accomplices, including his brother-in-law Liam Byrne, Bomber intended to deceive the authorities into believing his cooperation was genuine. He hoped this ruse would earn him a significant reduction in his sentence for aiding in the recovery of dangerous weapons. By this time, Liam Byrne had risen to prominence in Dublin's criminal underworld, a key figure in the city's drug trade and the head of the Byrne organised crime group, which is considered the Dublin branch of the international Kinahan cartel. Byrne was deeply entrenched in gang warfare and heavily involved in drug and arms trafficking. Liam, a first cousin of gangland killer and Kinahan enforcer Fat Freddie Thompson, had been on law enforcement's radar since his teenage years. His father, the notorious James Jaws Byrne, was once an associate of infamous armed robber Martin the General Cahill and had a long history of fraud and counterfeiting. His mother Sadie comes from the Rowe family, which is closely connected to many of Dublin's top organised crime groups. Growing up in Crumlin, Byrne ascended through the criminal underworld, heavily leveraging his family connections. By his early teens, he had already earned a reputation for violence and was dealing drugs alongside other young offenders. He was part of a gang composed of teenage boys from Crumlin and Drimnagh, receiving their drug supply from the much older Christy Kinahan, who was then in his mid-30s and operating between Ireland and the UK. In 2000, Byrne was convicted for possession of an imitation firearm when he was just 17. Despite his deep involvement in Dublin's criminal scene, this was the only time he faced jail time. In the years that followed, he charted a dark trajectory, with police believing that Byrne and his associates played a pivotal role in the violent campaign against the Hutch family and their crime organisation. The feud between the Kinahan cartel and the Hutch family has resulted in a staggering total of 18 deaths. It reportedly began in 2015, after Gary Hutch, the nephew of Jerry the Monk Hutch, was murdered in Spain. The Kinahans are widely believed to be behind this killing, as Gary had previously attempted to kill Daniel Kinahan. In retaliation, an attack occurred during a boxing weigh-in at Dublin's Regency Hotel, where Daniel Kinahan was present and targeted, but managed to escape. Tragically, Liam's younger brother David was shot and killed in the incident. Within weeks of the shooting, the Criminal Assets Bureau launched a significant operation against the Byrne organised crime group, seizing assets worth over €2 million. In the wake of the Regency Hotel attack, and with the cab closing in, Liam Byrne moved to the UK. After Bomber's arrest, Byrne rose to become the Kinahans' main leader in the UK. At this point, he and key Kinahan associate Sean McGovern occupied the upper echelons of organised crime in Ireland. However, following Bomber's downfall, Byrne left the UK and relocated to Dubai, joining the rest of the Kinahan cartel. While Byrne was living it up in Dubai, Bomber was devising his plan from his prison cell in HMP Dovegate, where he was being held on remand for the Hornstate charges while awaiting sentencing at Ipswich Crown Court. He then indeed managed to lead the NCA to Newry, where they uncovered the remarkable discovery. Meanwhile, across mainland Europe, authorities were busy infiltrating encrypted communication networks, and their efforts seemed to pay off. Bomber's entire scheme to outsmart the NCA quickly fell apart when French authorities shared intelligence with the NCA after successfully hacking the encrypted EncroChat. It became evident that the Kinahan cartel leader had orchestrated a conspiracy from behind bars, and over 3 months' worth of messages exchanged among conspirators on EncroChat revealed the full extent of the plot. Investigators identified individuals mentioned in these messages by the nickname Pops, Mick, Big Ed, and Mala as Bomber Kavanagh. Astonishingly, despite being incarcerated, Bomber was still able to manipulate events from his cell. Then, in March 2022, a short year after the Newry discovery, Kavanagh was convicted in the Hornstate case and sentenced to 21 years in prison by a UK court. At the same time, the NCA was also scrutinising Liam Byrne's activities alongside an ongoing investigation into Bomber's criminal assets. Byrne was additionally under investigation for allegedly threatening several individuals in England, including a property developer and various business figures. However, his most serious offence was leading a criminal organisation involved in weapons trafficking in the UK. Reports indicate that Byrne's group acquired pistols and submachine guns specifically designed to evade detection, complicating police efforts. The scale of the operation was substantial, with one criminal organisation reportedly placing an order for 14 firearms at once. During the investigation, the NCA discovered that Liam planned to leave Dubai for Mallorca to visit friends and family, presenting them with a crucial opportunity. In a meticulously coordinated operation, Spanish officers arrested Byrne in June 2023 while he was dining at a restaurant in Alcudia, accompanied by his 2 underage children. Just prior to this, Bomber's son Jack was apprehended at Malaga Airport. The EncroChat messages connected both individuals to the Byrne organisation, which had been purchasing firearms to supply to other organised crime groups. But then the case took a shocking twist when the court revealed that Bomber had actually directed officers to the weapons cache in Newry. Now, the saga surrounding the Newry weapons plot has finally reached its conclusion. Liam Byrne and Thomas Bomber Kavanagh have been sentenced by a UK court for their roles in the scheme to amass firearms. Bomber received a 6-year sentence to be served consecutively with his existing 21-year term for drug trafficking offences. Liam Byrne was handed a 5-year sentence, marking his first significant prison term in nearly 2 decades. Additionally, a third man, Sean Kent from Liverpool, was also sentenced to 6 years in prison. That was it for today's video. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see our next videos.